Hey folks, we're back on the Air Superiority dev server, and this time we're taking a look at the Mirage 4000. This is kind of an interesting plane that I never expected to see in the game. Long story short, this was a one-off prototype that was built by Dassault, kind of in between the Mirage 2000 and the Rafale, and it never really went anywhere. Given the way that the Snail has, added certain aircraft and everything into the game, I honestly never expected to see this one. But we've got it, which is pretty cool. So let's take a quick look at some features. For cannons, we have a set of twin DAFAs, one on either side, down in a similar position to other Mirages. The ballistics computer and radar warning receiver are relatively full-featured, and I want to give the disclaimer, of course. This is the dev server, everything's subject to change. It looks like the features on this aircraft may be kind of copy-pasta right now from one of the Mirage 2000s. But we'll see what happens when it goes live. For the radar, we have the Thompson CSF RDM. Relatively good set of features. Notable caveat, no look-down all-aspect mode. So something to be aware of there. You're also going to notice, up here on the left, no stock countermeasures. And I'll get to that in a second. In terms of where it is in the tech tree, it is down below the F8E. Not any of the Mirage 2000s or the F1 or anything. So you can take a look at the stats there. There's the stat card. Rank 8, battle rating 12.0. And as I said with the Gripen, I'm expecting this is probably going to go up to 12.3 when the patch goes live or shortly thereafter. Let's take a look at the weapons. The hard points on this are really interesting. The kind of interesting detail we get here, we can take, let me just select it to show you. Similar to like the older Mirage 5s, we can take these drop tanks that have weapon pylons on them. So if you take the drop tanks on this plane, or at least, one of the options if you take the drop tanks, you can get a pair of Magic 2s with the drop tank, which is kind of interesting. I can't lie. I like that. The Magic 2, of course, recently received a buff on the live servers. This is a very strong, very capable, all-aspect infrared missile. Pretty good for close-in dogfighting. And, as you can see here, you can take quite a few of them. You can take up to 6, which is going to be a relatively good loadout. For a semi-active radar missile, right now we have the Super 530F. I was a little confused when I saw this, a little surprised. I kind of expected we were going to get one of the other radar missiles on this plane, but for right now, we've got the 530F. That may change before it goes live. Air to ground. This is kind of encouraging here. We have a ridiculously large number of really good air to ground weapons. This thing is going to make not only, I think, an effective fighter, this is going to make an effective strike fighter for some pretty good ground attack capability. We can take 4 AS-30Ls. These are the very capable laser-guided air-to-surface missiles that France gets. Atlas targeting pod, and a couple of BGL-1000s. And as you can see with one of these loadouts I set here, you can take the BGL-1000s and the 4 AS-30Ls. So relatively good potential for ground attack on this jet. The one caveat is that the Atlas II targeting pod on this jet does not have an auto tracker. So you're gonna have to babysit your lays. If you're using any of these weapons. Not a bad thing, not really a big deal, just something to know about. In terms of countermeasures, you've got to take them on these pods. Let me see if I can. It's these pods here under the fuselage. That's where you take the countermeasures on this jet. The good news is those countermeasure pods don't conflict with anything except for a pair of dome bombs. So you're not going to lose anything by taking these countermeasure pods. So, all right, let's get this thing into a match and see what it's got. Okay, we're out in a match with the Mirage 4000, and I want to draw your attention to the fuel. Now, I spawned out with a full load of fuel, which was 20 minutes, and it brought my fuel load up to about 25-30 when I spawned in. I am guessing that's because I took the loadout with drop tanks. And I'm guessing we don't have the slash notation with the time on the drop tanks, because they're probably not going to jettison automatically until I've expended my weapons. That's a good thing. But the fuel load on this plane, that's a problem. 20 minutes? I mean, look at the fuel consumption when I hit the afterburners. Look at that. That's going to be an issue. All right, anyway, let's take a look at the radar. We've got pulse Doppler head-on, track wall scan head-on, pulse Doppler velocity head-on, and regular lookup search mode, about what we expected. Let's take a look at our search angles, 60 by 10, 30 by 5, 120 by 10, not bad. Range presets, 37, 93, 185, 370, and 19. So about what we'd expect to see out of a top-tier French jet. All right, let's go looking for some combat. Okay, so that first match ended before I could get any combat engagements. I'm going to try again here in a second match. Alright, I've got some radar contacts up ahead. I'm going to try and engage one with the 530F on our way into a merge. If I can get a lock on something here. Maybe when I come over this hill. Of course, we're getting pretty close. Alright, there we go. Come on. Alright, we should easily be within range. We'll see if that guy notches. He's in relatively good position. He can probably evade that if he tries. Give him a little bit of magic. Nothing. Alright. Got ourselves into a turn fight here. With an F4 EJ, we should easily be able to take that out in a top-tier jet. That could be an issue over there. Oh, that's a lot of countermeasures. Alright, we got another F4 EJ. We'll see if we can pull the same sort of a thing. Oh, he turned in. I'm guessing that was a bit of a mistake that he may realize soon. Oh, he's... Alright, I kind of expected that Gripen was going to get him. But I've got other problems. F-16 is always a problem. Oh, F-15 is a problem. Man. Alright, now we got that. Here, he's down. See what we got going. We only got 3 magics left. I blew through a lot of those missiles real quick. Got one. Okay, and I am out of energy. Oh, I shot that a little bit too soon. 1 magic left. Let's see if we can get it on this F-15. Turning performance out of this jet is pretty good. Energy retention is crap, but that is expected out of a Delta Wing jet like this that's big and heavy. Ooh, all right. Well, that was a little bit of a chaotic furball of pain there. I'm gonna see if I can find something to engage with this last magic I've got. The drop tanks are still there, probably because my last weapon is mounted to one of them. You know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna see if I can just find like some AI trash plane to throw this magic at. I want to see if the drop tanks are gonna jettison after I fire my last weapon here. So I'm just gonna zoom in and try to get a lock on this guy. I'm gonna run out of gas, but that's fine. It's a dev server, it doesn't matter. All right, let's take a look. Drop tanks did not actually detach. Interesting information. Anyway, so that was a quick match in the Mirage 4000. I mean, you can see from, you know, some of this turn performance is really decent, but the energy retention is not going to be great. Not that we'd really expect it to be. My biggest concern about this plane based off of just trying it out here, is the fuel. I'm really worried that that 20 minutes of fuel, 25 with the drop tanks, is just not going to be enough. Otherwise, the weapon load seems relatively strong. The turn performance is relatively good. It's a large target, which is going to make, evading gunfire and missiles and everything with proximity fuses a little bit more difficult than it would be in something like an F-16. Quantity of countermeasures, not super high, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to be optimistic to try this out once the patch goes live. As always, thanks for watching.